Good morning, this is Justin here. I have a question for you. Do you believe that Jesus has power over the spiritual? So earlier on this week, we talked about how Jesus healed this guy who who had like the triple whammy, right? He couldn't speak, he was mute. He couldn't hear, he was deaf. And on top of that, he was demon possessed. And so he heals all three of those components, right? And so he heals the physical, we talked about, and then he goes after the spiritual, the demon possessed. Now check out what the Pharisees say after Jesus did this. It's Matthew 12:24. But when the Pharisees heard about the miracle, they said, "No wonder he can cast out demons. He gets his power from Satan, the prince of demons." Now, Jesus goes on, you'll find out later on this week, and kind of demolishes that whole idea of like, that's pretty much the silliest thing I've ever heard. So there is a spiritual warfare that is taking place in our lives as we speak today. Now, you may not see it, but you probably feel it, because most of the time it deals with in our head, right? There's the battle of the mind. And so we talk about this all the time. 2 Corinthians 10:5, we captivate our thoughts towards Christ. But when you look at it in context, and other translations say, if you have a negative thought, you can tell that negative thought pretty much, in the name of Jesus, I make that thought go away. And Jesus has this crazy, wonderful ability to take that negative thought and take it out of your mind and throw it away. So do you have, or do you believe that Jesus is able to do that? And I know in my life sometimes I have high expectations of myself, and they're super high and I always never meet them. And so I start developing this negative way of thinking. So what I do is I was like, God, help me not think so negative of myself. And I take these negative thoughts and I give them to you, and he fills my head with nice, beautiful thoughts of, I made you in your image, you're enough, you can be used. And so do you believe that Jesus has the spiritual abilities over our lives, over our minds today? Because he does. He has the power to do so. He casted out a demon, and he can make our negative thoughts go away. So guys, I challenge you to do that today. Have a great day.